So let's talk about what you do.
What I do.
What do you do?
So what I do currently, I'm into civic technology. So I develop tools that help the general public engage with the government.
Okay.
So from chatbots, from emailing tools, to websites, to even one of the biggest projects that I'm doing at the organization that I'm currently working. It's called the Rural Digital Kiosk. It tackles the problem that we were just talking about, the information gap, bridging the information gap. That's basically what we're trying to do, is introducing a localized internet into these rural areas, an intranet system that empowers them to share knowledge within themselves and also to conduct business in a modernized way.
Okay, that's great. All right, so let's talk about, you mentioned a lot, but basically you're an IT guy, a software guy.
Yes, definitely.
An engineer.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So let's talk about your background, your academic background. Like, where did you train to be where you are right now?
High school, I went to Mazoe Boys High, and then for A-level I went to Prince Edward's. Then after that, I went to Tier 1 Center for Learning, which I did my software engineering. So that has been me. So you find that primary school I was in a rural area, and then now high school I was in a peri-urban area, and then college I was now located in Harare, and up to now I'm still in Harare throughout all the ventures that I've been doing, and also all the employment opportunities that I've came across in my life.
That experience is really rich because you have exposure in different environments.
Exactly.
Meaning you have understanding of the dynamics in different environments. So that's very rich. That's a rich experience. So let's break down your academic background that you've just mentioned.
Okay.
You mentioned Mazoe Boys High.
Yes.
You mentioned Prince Edward School.
Yes.
These are all boys' schools.
Yes.
So from your experiences in these two schools,
Yes.
share some about what it's like to learn at a boys' school.
At a boys' school. So most people will
What to expect?
Most people will tell you that you're going to a boys' school, so then you're scared of the other gender, right? You're not used to the other gender. You can't. They would expect you not to be able to handle yourself well within, but it's actually the other way around, right? Because that was like one of the biggest things. That was one of the core things, because it was something that was missing within the environment, right? So it was something that was constantly being fostered for. Even at Mazoe, we were always having these interactions with girls' schools, other same-sex school, which are girls' schools, and even at Mazoe. So it was always, and it even manifested when I got to college, because I had amazing relationships with, with the opposite gender. I knew how to handle myself and how to handle them as well. And I think it also emanates from an emotional intelligence that I was developing during that time. But it was an awesome experience. I think one of the main things that I learned was seniority, which is very valuable. I think that most people that go to a mixed school, they don't get that concept. They don't understand that, if you just jump into your position and you become uncontested within your position, then you will not be contested. People will know that that's your position. Right? You become uncontested. So it really taught me that I was always trying to identify my position and then making sure that I hone it so that I'm uncontested. Okay. So Mazoe was an excellent launchpad. It gave me those moral values and also those learning skills. Fundamental learning skills.
Is it true that there's a lot of bullying in boys' school? Because that's one of the common narratives. Let's talk about that.
Before I just talk about that, let me just finish my previous point. So I wanted to mention that Mazoe was a good launchpad for me. It gave me the essential morals, learning morals, right? And then when I got to Prince Edward, I was being exposed now to the real world, and now I had to. It was a great opportunity, Prince Edward, because I was traveling more now, and then I would get to meet different people, white people, people from other people from other African nations, because I got to travel to other countries when I was still at school. It was an amazing time, and I really think that the transition from Azoe, the foundation, and now Prince Edward, the exposure. It was an amazing time. Then now coming to your current question, the bullying. So even in life, there's bullying. Bullying will always exist, sir. And I really think that it's unfair to not let a boy or a girl toughen it out. But at the same time, it did get to extreme levels at some points. And that's why the school authorities were there. And then I won't lie, accidents happen. Even before I came to Prince Edward, there were some cases of like that were even, there were even in newspapers, cases of bullying that were even in newspapers from Prince Edward and all that. But when I got there, I understood the culture. The culture was seniority, know your place, and become uncontested within your place.
So we can say it was preparation for the real world. Because
Yes.
like you said, it's true. Bullying is it's part of human nature.
It's part of
so we
human
can say it was
nature.
preparation.
Exactly. There are a lot
Yeah.
of things like today, I won't lie to you, it's so fascinating if you look at even how it world politics. I don't want to dive into it, but like at a general level, you would see that sometimes you just questioned, so was this necessary really? Did they have to do this? You'd see civilians dying and all that. It's really traumatizing. But then that's the same thing that you're saying at school. You don't want your children to be exposed to, but then it's the same thing that they're going to be exposed to in the real world.
Okay.
Yeah. So why not under in a controlled environment? Let the lights do them. Let them feel the structure. Let them structure themselves. Let them understand. And then obviously have guidelines within it.
Yes.
But don't interfere too much into it. Let them figure it out.
Okay, let them learn their place in the world, learn how to navigate conflicts, manage conflicts again. So, okay, that's fine. You also mentioned something. You said that you traveled a lot back in your high school days.
Yes.
I understand that if you're traveling with the school, you have to be doing some sort of activities, sports, culturals.
Definitely.
What did you do?
So
What were you traveling with?
So I did a lot of sporting extracurricular activities. When I was still in Mazor, I did a lot of basketball. Then I did a bit of rugby. Actually, I did a lot of rugby. I actually played for the school's first team when I was still in Form 3. That was awesome. But then when I got to Prince Edward, now it was a different ballgame altogether. Because Prince Edward is more competitive. Prince Edward, even in terms of ranking, even in Africa, Prince Edward is ranked as one of the best high schools in Africa. So there was now that element of competition, and then I now had to identify my place. So I pivoted. And I think that's where I learned to pivot, actually. I'm pretty good at pivoting. I've been doing it for the past recent years a lot. So yeah, I pivoted. I started doing martial arts. Martial arts is something that my cousin, who was already at Prince Edward, he had introduced to me at an earlier stage. So I would usually go to his place during the holidays and we would do some boxing, we'd do some judo. And then so I got to Prince Edward. There was a great launch pad for that, since I had already won some skills back at home with my cousin, practicing my cousin. And my cousin was already traveling by that time. I would go to Greece with judo, come back with a medal. So it was pretty awesome, yeah. And then so I joined boxing. I became passionate about boxing, actually. I loved it. It taught me accountability.
That's what I wanted to ask. The principles you learned from these martial arts.
It taught me accountability. You know what? Let me actually tell you. One of the most things that I value about myself is, is accountability. I'm learning to be accountable every day since the day I stepped into the ring.
How?
Because I understood that once I'm in the ring, I'm by myself, right? I might have my coach shouting at the corner. I might have my peers shouting in the crowd. But in that ring, within those 4 pins you see in that ring, I'm by myself and my opponent. So I learned to resort to me for help. I learned to be accountable. So I've experienced this with a lot of people, some of my friends, some of my colleagues at work. They go through this this phase or this problem whereby it's hard to take accountability of a problem that you're facing. Right? Of which I learned that a long time ago. I learned that, like, already when I was in college, I understood my parents' position. I understood that I had another sibling that needed to be taken care of. And I understood that sometimes I might see them have money, but then they would say they don't have money to give me. And I understood that, yes, they might have this, maybe they need to use it for my lighting, maybe they've got medical bills, they've got all those other things. And then so I learned to resort to always me. So when I see a problem, I look inward before I look outward.
That's really rich again.
Yeah.
Because, with sports, there are two types of sports. There are team sports and then there are individual sports.
Individual sports, yeah.
So with martial arts, it does teach you those strengths that, you have to be responsible and accountable for your actions.
For your actions, yeah. True.
All right.
Yeah, and also, you know what? Once you're in that ring, everything gets exposed. You were saying you've been training, you've known about this match for the past 3 months, but here you are in the ring. What are you doing? Because it tallies, like if you were not exercising, you can't go the 10th round. You can't get to the 10th round because you were not doing the rounds, you're not running, you get. And then if you can't throw a punch, then we know that there was no, you were not punch hitting the bag, or you were not doing any shadow boxing, or you were not practicing your combinations. It shows, and everybody can see, because it's just you and your opponent. And that's the same thing in life. Eventually, we will see what you have been preparing and what you have been doing with your time.
It will show.
It will show.
Wow.